is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the letter of St. Paul to Colossians, chapter 1, verses 21 to 23. And you who were once estranged and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he has now reconciled in his fleshly body through death, so as to present you holy and blameless and irreproachable before him, provided that you continue securely established and steadfast in the faith, without shifting from the hope promised by the gospel that you heard, which has been proclaimed to every creature under heaven. I, Paul, became a servant of this gospel. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 6, verses 1 to 5. While Jesus was going through a field of grain on a Sabbath, his disciples were picking the heads of grain, rubbing them in their hands and eating them. Some Pharisees said, "Why are you doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" Jesus said to them in reply, "Have you not read what David did when he and those who were with him were hungry? How he went into the house of God, took the bread of offering, which only the priests could lawfully eat, ate of it, and shared it with his companions? Then he said to them, 'The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath.'" This is the gospel of the Lord.
We are gifted with an intellect. We have the capacity to think. And most importantly, God has given us freedom to choose between good and evil. Therefore, at every juncture of our life, before every event of our life, we are to determine or choose to make a very intelligent choice between the decisions that we should take and should not take. Today in the Gospel, we see how Pharisees try to put the blame on the disciples of Jesus for not abiding to the law of the Sabbath, which is illegal. That is true. But then Jesus tries to bring the awareness of these Pharisees to another level. Make them to understand, my dear friends, that it is also equally important to address the spirit of the law without just hanging on to the letter of the law. Where to find the spirit of this particular law or the custom of fasting, that we have the humility to say that God is my food, God is everything to me. I can remain abstaining something that I should naturally need in other days, so that I may have more time to spend with the Lord. And that is the actual spirit of a day or a moment of fasting. It's not a simple custom or a tradition. It's more than that. And Jesus is trying to bring the awareness of these Pharisees to that level. And my dear friends, looking at that story, we also can think about our lives. Sometimes our lives are full of scrupulosity. We are very much interested in meticulous details of doing certain things the way they have been done in the history, according to the traditions, according to the cultures. Sometimes when there is a greater need or greater importance that should be given to something, we are not ready to let go the way we have been doing things, especially in our own communities. Very rigid to bend our ways of doing things, even to help another person. My dear friends, this is a good message therefore today to reflect and see where we lie in this whole agenda, where we have placed ourselves, or rather where we should place ourselves in this story. Are we another Pharisee who would be rigidly following a law even without understanding the spirit behind it? Or we are also like true disciples of Jesus, that we understand what is the real importance of life.